ladies and germs, not Germans, germs. Today, another Rantapalooza because the last one on Scooter was such a wild success. I had a couple of Scooter simps, these deplorable creatures from the nether worlds, rise up and challenge me on my, first of all, my musical taste for not enjoying utter generic Goislop from the technolands of Germanic technolands, and secondly, the absolute horrible voice that I possess, which that's not even an argument. I completely hate my voice, but it's the only one I got. I don't pay YouTube or any social media for advertising. And on top of that, my topics are usually taboo or they're unpopular. Hot takes, unpopular opinions, all that jazz. People don't really want to, be negative, I guess. I think this is a weird new generational situation where the kids are growing up and they're somehow been indoctrinated into this whole thing of being like really politically correct and never saying things that are too negative or I don't know, threatening or just to be perceived as attacking anyone. It's like everything is subjective and people have a right to choose whatever they want, blah blah blah. Yeah, defend the peoples and their honor because they're alive and they have a right to be stupid. They have a right to have bad taste. They have a right to eat garbage, and they have a right to get diabetes. They have a right to, as long as they don't hurt anybody else, as long as they only hurt themselves, which is not exactly what I would think as a proper evolution for a unified and progressive society. In a unified progressive society, we look out for each other and we point things out like, hey, this heroin stuff is bad. Hey, that McDonald's you're eating is bad. Those Doritos have like toxic ingredients that have been proven to cause cancer. Like maybe, eat an organic carrot or something. Once in a while it's okay, but if you eat too much of that awful, experimental lab food, you're gonna pay the price, and the people around you are gonna pay the price, and consequently, the community and the city and the state and the country starts flailing and going down the tubes, and so on. So I really hate that whole idea of people shutting other people's opinions up because they don't want anyone to get hurt. And it's like, yeah, that's not the way life works, man. Like, we're all supposed to learn from each other from history, and we're supposed to guide our communities towards something positive, But I think this is all part of the whole
end of times mandate conjured up.
The Cretan demons in power have been laying down the plan for decades now, and so everything around us is really twisted and just not the way things are supposed to be. But I'm here to kind of correct things a bit, at least when it comes to culture, music, and pointing things out that other people won't. Hence why I will be suppressed by algorithms and whatnot, easily offended, fragile snowflake Gen Zs and young millennials, what have yous, that get offended easily and can't take any kind of criticism. It could be a slight criticism, it could be a positive reinforcement, and they will just melt their brains with that kind of stuff. Like, it obliterates their sense of life, of existence. Like, they can't handle it. And this is a very strange new thing that I've seen, because in the past generations are like, hey, stop fucking crying, get up, do something to avoid feeling like that anymore. Go hit the gym, read some books, get smart, toughen up, and get involved with life. And instead, these people are all like easily defeated by words and whatever. But I regress, and we're now on to, from Germany, we're going to fly over to Sweden. I think they're pretty similar in many ways, being neighbors and all, and lots of white people there as well. But Sweden also has a very rich musical culture. That's why we need to attack it, in modern times at least. They have legendary stuff like ABBA, they were worldwide hit sensations. I think ABBA is Sweden's answer to Black Sabbath in terms of popularity. As long as you can write a good song is a good song. Good music is good music, no matter what genre you're talking about. All right, you shouldn't ever pigeonhole yourself to one single or two genres of music, because then you'll miss out. And history is very important. You need to go back and listen to everything so you can make a real, assessment. It's called investigative journalism. And it's good for your soul. It's good for your mind. It's good to know things in general, It's good being informed. Anyways, my choices for Sweden's most recent, awful band is very difficult, because there's so much to choose from. And as a metalhead, the obvious choice would be to, lay it down on Ghost, because Ghost is very popularly maligned. Everybody hates Ghost except the people that don't, and have made Ghost a household name throughout the world. Tobias Forge ruins the band, in my opinion. Not that the band is great, they're just okay, but Tobias really takes them down several notches because of his incredibly bland and inoffensive, innocuous voice. His melodies suck, and they're so restrained. He's very limited. If he goes out of the formula that he has, he'll get electric shocks on his balls or something. It's very odd, and it doesn't work. It's you can almost see what he's trying to do, but it just backfires massively, and it rubs a lot of people the wrong way, especially because they look so demonic, and you would expect black metal, because black metal is big now, not only in northern countries but worldwide, America too, South America. Black metal is Krieg, but anyways, I did not want to really choose Ghost, although I just spoke about them. I wanted to dig a little bit into what a lot of people around the world might not even know exists, even though this band that I'm about to talk about has made North American trips. I don't know if they've been to South America, but they've been all over Europe. They have a fan base, obviously, and they've been on tour with Amaranth, which is, I believe, is symphonic metal or power symphonic. I don't know, whatever that crap is. I don't like that stuff. And same with Hailstorm, another piece of shit band. It's a waste of time to even mention them, because they sound like Shania Twain with distorted guitars, and it's awful. And the other band they went on tour is Alter Bridge. Alter Bridge has some semi-reputable musicians involved, and they kind of almost have something decent about them, but in the end it's just more pointless rock fodder for the toilet. Sorry, but it just doesn't cut it. Most rock bands nowadays are so formulaic, they're so predictable, that is just immediately, you know where it's going, you know what it's going to sound like, and you just tune off. I tune off, and I can't stand it. And this is why people say that rock is dead, and I kind of believe it, because there is no genuine, real innovation anymore. Everything is just repeat, regurgitation, repeat, rinse, regurgitation, rinse, repeat. The same shit over and over. And the thing that is not a repeat is very misguided. Like, for example, Sleep Token. That is an absolute failure of a fusion attempt of rock, metal, pop, and R&B. It really is a toxic sludge of shit. But anyways, the band we're talking about from Sweden that is pretty kind of popular is called Smash Into Pieces. Kind of a throwback maybe to the Limp Bizkit era of Give Me Something to Break and Smash Into Pieces. Or Cut My Life Into Pieces. This is Your Last Resort. And anyways, stupid name, for sure. Very easily, dismissed, because it's not creative. It's just, and then you take a look at the band, and you take a look at the band members, and their debut was in 2013 with the album called Unbreakable. You take a look at their single, their video, whatever it's called, and you see yourself that they're like this kind of like boy band. Really, is just another boy band that was manufactured in a boardroom somewhere in a very posh record label, and with investors involved and all this. So what they did to these guys was they just gave them the formula, like this total formula. FM radio, rock radio, kind of a bit of a throwback. Like when you listen to any of their songs, from any like of their albums, I think they have like 5 albums, and you immediately can tell how predictable it is and what the influences are. And they are marketing mostly on bands like Linkin Park in that era, rock radio, like at Coldplay. Yeah, it's like Coldplay meets Linkin Park meets, I don't know, I guess Shinedown or something like that. And then basically they have like synths, and they have 2 double guitars, but they don't do any melodic, like real, like awesome shredding solos at all. They keep it very minimal. In fact, the guitars sound like they're made from a synthesizer. They sound very generic, very predictable. They don't go out of line. There's no like little, playfulness with their, their guitar licks are very just sterile and to the point, and that's it. The singer, he does his like little Coldplay, kind of like Chester Bennington, like fluffy, high, not too high, but he has some aggression in his voice, and he seems to be more, I don't know, more of a alert than you would expect, because these kinds of bands try to look aggressive and at times sound aggressive, but the overall tone has to be easily digestible rock radio, especially because the females that are going to be attracted to the guys that look like a boy band, they need to hear that fluffy familiarity, generic bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so obvious. Like, they make him look like a bad boy. Especially, he kind of looks like an American pimp or American drug dealing kid from high school, one of the bad boys, but he's somewhat romantic. That's what girls love, especially the teenage girls. They want that bad boy because they see bands like this and this guy fronting it, which is, it's just utter ridiculous. And I've said it before, teenage girls are a menace to the music industry. And that's what corporate executives bank on. And so this formula will never end. It'll go on into eternity. And now it's not just like 5 guys choreographed dancing on stage. Now it's 5 guys on stage with instruments mimicking. It looks mimicking. Like, I seen their live videos. It looks like they're mimicking. there's nothing live sounding about it except the singer, of course, because that's a must. Because if he gets caught, it's game over. Everybody else, whatever. A drummer, for some reason, I don't. It didn't happen immediately with the first album, but the drummer was forced a helmet that kind of gives off like this weird Darth Vader with lights on. I don't understand the concept of that, because it doesn't represent the band in any way. Like, how do you get a mascot for Smash Into Pieces? Like, they have just Darth Vader on drums and cool red LED lights on his helmet. So it kind of looks like a literal maybe soldier helmet from, you know, the good old Battlelore days, but it's digital, and their sound is digital. It's like crazy modern rock electronica, but it sounds sterile. Again, I feel like I repeat myself with all these new bands, but it just sounds very sterile. There's no other way around it, man. These bands are obviously just industry plants, and it's just sad. You know, they have the tattoos, they have, you know, the tight black clothing and everything, and they're from Sweden. I don't know. This is really a horrible thing to witness as well, even though it is a bit better than witnessing Scooter, but it really isn't. You know, at the same time, somehow there's like an equilibrium of the suckage that this band contains, and they've been going for so long, since 2013, and I never heard of it. I had to be told, and then I did research on my own, and yeah, so here we are, Sweden's worst band as of 2026. Who knows what horrors lay ahead? Who knows? But from the looks of things, we're pretty fucking doomed. But in any case, we still have the past to look into. You can always deep dive into better Swedish bands. You can deep dive into Opeth. You can deep dive into Entombed. Europe, heavy metal, glam, solid, you know, songwriters. It's not just about the genre, it's the songwriting again. Europe was a pretty good songwriting team. I believe they're still going, but you know, I've kind of lost interest in much of that stuff. But I can still listen to their 80s hit album and be okay with it, because good music is often timeless and it does not age. However, Smash Into Pieces is immediate disposable garbage. It's like they might as well just like print their album and then throw it right in the dumpster, because the only people that can fall for this are the people that is being marketed to, which is kids. And that's probably why they have the drummer with the helmet. To the seasoned veterans that listen to this, it's an immediate hell no. It's so obvious. It's pretty awful what's going on around the world. But I think that's all I really want to say about this band. And there you go. Who knows if we'll get haters, because I don't think they're that popular. But we'll see. We'll see if we get any haters in the comments. In any case, auf Wiedersehen.